Hello, I'm Terry Kelly, Director of Representation and Member Services at the Law Society of Ireland. This is one of a series of videos that provides information for solicitors about buying, selling, merging and closing a legal practice. If you have questions or need additional support from the Law Society's Small Practice Support team, please contact us using the details at the end of the video.
Welcome to Information on Selling a Practice Video 2, a Law Society Small Practice Support video that is one in a series providing information for solicitors on wide-ranging matters relating to buying, selling and merging practices. I'm Keith O'Malley of Law Society Small Practice Support Service. This video builds on another video in this series that is called Information on Selling a Practice Video 1. Ideally, that video should be viewed before this one. In this video, we're going to look at the following matters relating to selling a legal practice. We will start with progressing inquiries into and through negotiations. We then look at matters that can cause difficulty in sale negotiations. We'll consider due diligence and what is involved. And we'll finish up with concluding a deal and regulatory matters associated with that. So let's start with what's involved in progressing inquiries into and through the process of negotiation. You may find yourself talking to a number of parties, and each of these will have different priorities and be seeking something different in what they want to buy. So it can be a very time-consuming and complicated business. The sale of a business can turn out to be a very fraught time, and you may not be able to give as much time as you might like to your ordinary legal business within your firm. Many practitioners look for a broker or some other middleman to assist them. It's a good idea, but it can be expensive. There are always compromises involved between what you're hoping for and what the purchaser wants. Be clear on the kind of deal that you want to do, but be prepared to consider other options. Some matters are absolutely fundamental, such as who's going to take responsibility for the firm going forward. In this regard, you need an in-depth understanding of the succeeding practice rule. You need to make a judgment whether or not people who are interested in doing a deal have the capability to successfully do so. If they don't have your confidence, move away from them. Let's now look at matters that can cause difficulties in sale negotiations. The sale of a premises or even agreeing on a lease is tough to incorporate alongside the sale of a legal practice. It's usually best to do two separate standalone deals. Equipment plus furniture and fittings are usually worth an awful lot less than what the seller believes that they're worth. Agreeing a value on work in progress can be very difficult when it's going to be paid for up front. However, in recent years it tends to be paid for as it comes in, so there isn't that same difficulty. Agreeing on the value for debtors can also be difficult. One way to avoid problems in this regard is to agree that the seller retains debtors and personally collects and receives all monies involved. To do a deal with somebody, you're going to need to agree on what is generally called a heads of agreement deal, and you then need to let them check out what they will be buying from you. Which brings us on to due diligence. Due diligence refers to investigative work that a prospective buyer does to ensure a business that they're planning to buy is as presented by the seller. Actually, the due diligence is usually not done by the purchaser, but by an accountant employed by them who has enough expertise to identify anomalies and possible problems. The seller is also wise to involve his or her accountant too in advance to minimize the risk of unexpected problems surfacing. It is usual to have a prospective purchaser sign a non-disclosure undertaking before they start doing due diligence. And so on to concluding a deal. As the Law Society's guidelines outline, when the composition of a firm of solicitors is materially altered, prompt notification to the clients of the firm needs to be made. Law Society guidelines note that it would not be proper for the new firm to take over the affairs of a client, including money and papers held, without that client concerned first being notified and giving their okay. Law Society guidelines provide instructions on the release of undertakings following purchase and sale of a practice. As soon as any practice is purchased or a sale happens, the Law Society needs to be sent a formal notification so that its records can be updated. So, we're at the end of this video. However, as outlined at the start of the video, another video called Information on Selling a Legal Practice Video 1 provides more information on this subject. And other videos in this series deal with the whole wide-ranging issues of buying, selling and merging practices. We hope that they are of assistance to you. Bye.